Alright folks, right, so we're back in the KA today. So we've got it insured, taxed, and basically it's fully roadworthy. So what's the plans with this car? Oh bloody hell. Right, so what's the plans with this car? As I said in the last video, it's to get it on a track day really and see what it's all about. I've never done a track day before, believe it or not, and I've always wanted to, but I've never wanted to stack the Porsche or any of the other nicer cars. So I got this KA. So it's a KA Sport, or a SportKA, however you say it. The KA first came out in 1996 and it took until 2003 to do anything with it really. They all came with a 1.3 engine with about, I think it was about 70 brake horsepower, and then this thing come along with a 1.6 8-valve engine making 95 brake horsepower. Official figures say top speed's about 110 mile an hour and 0 to 60 in 9.7 seconds. Again, we'll see how that stands up later. We'll get it on a rolling road, see if it's still got all its power, and then we will do our track day. I've been looking, and there's one at the end of January at Three Sisters, which is my local track anyway. So that should be a good sort of baseline for us to see how the car's performing first of all, but then going forward we want to do a few modifications to it and see if modifications actually make a car any faster, especially around the track. I know it's all nice and good and well to do these modifications so you look cool on the car park or whatever, but those days are long gone for me. So does it actually make the car perform any better? They always say the performance enhancing modifications. Well, let's find out. Maybe do a bit of myth busting as well as having a giggle along the way, and that's really the premise of this car really. So yeah, what I'm going to do is head up to a local industrial estate where the roads are private, so we can do a little bit of more spirited driving, shall we say. And we'll see how we get on, give you a bit more feedback about the car and see what just a pile of shite I might have even bought. Who even knows? This is its maiden voyage and we could have bought a turd. So yeah, let's see how we get on. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so cost of the car so far, we've got the car itself 160 quid I think I paid for the car. Next, MOT 40 quid standard price pretty much everywhere you go. Repairs for the MOT, it needed quite an extensive amount of welding. I think that was about 400 quid, and then it needed a lower front arm which I think was about 30 quid, 35 quid. Me and Bill fitted that ourselves at the garage, and then it needed the rear swing arm bushes or whatever you call them on this thing. Every car's got a different name for them. The trailing arm bushes. So as I said in the last video, it costs about the same for some uprated poly bushes as it does for standard ones. So we stuck the poly bushes in. Now poly bushes is something we do at the garage quite a lot. It really sort of refreshes an old car anyway, and a lot of the people who come to our garage are, you know, as we say, sort of spirited drivers, they're enthusiasts, so it's worth that little upgrade for them. Now if you don't know much about poly bushes, I can do a video on them separately. In fact, I think I will. But basically, when a lot of people are fitting coilovers and lowering springs or whatever, and they think they want a stiffer ride and blah blah blah, so you tap the suspension, probably what you actually want is poly bushes all round. To be perfectly honest with you, you still get the drivability of your car is standard ride height, so you're not scraping on bumps and what have you, left, right and centre, but it stiffens your chassis up. And also the other way around, you can put coilovers on whatever you want, but if all your bushes are shagged, it's going to wibble all over the place. It's no use if all your bushes are knackered. You can do whatever you want. and you're not going to get anywhere near the effect that you think you're going to get. So you can read all the magazines and watch all the YouTube videos in the world where people are lowering the cars and fitting coilovers, and they go, oh bloody hell, look how much better my car is. But if your bushes are fucked, which on anything 10 years old or whatever, or over say 40-50,000 miles, all your bushes are going to be worn. It only makes sense. The rubber, just like your car tyre, and think about how often you change your tyres because they perish, not just because they're bald. Sometimes, if you have a look on your MOT, perished tyres, not just bald tyres. Well, the rubber in your poly bush, in your standard bushes, perishes the same rate pretty much. So poly bushes are a modification people should be looking into. Again, I think I'll probably do a full video on that, and really go into some details to the benefits of poly bushing your car. So anyway, so what we've got there, 160, 400 is 560, 40 for the MOT is 600. The arm and the poly bushes are about, well, probably less than 100 quid. So I'm 700 quid all in for the car. So next thing to actually get it sort of on the road is tax and MOT. So tax and insurance rather. So tax is £265 a year, and insurance for me was 250 quid. Now it would be a lot less if I didn't use all my no claims, obviously, on my Porsche and all the other cars and bikes and everything else that I've got. So I was starting afresh with the no claims on this thing. If I could put all my no claims on, which is about 15 years no claims, I think it comes down to about 100 quid. So it's a reasonable car, but obviously it's not lightning, is it? And it's not particularly desirable. So that's what we're dealing with. Again, just a cheap car for cheap thrills on a track, or if we go for, you know, a spirited drive through the peaks or something, I can take this and not have to worry if I drop it off the edge of a cliff quite as much as I would shit myself if I spank the Porsche. So that's it really. Like I say, relatively low cost, and the bills so far have been fairly reasonable as well. Welding is a pain in the ass, but what you're going to do, it's all labour, and that's the same for any rusty old pile of shit that you're trying to nail back together and get an MOT on it. So there we go. Right, so that's enough of that nonsense. I don't know if I'm going to put this in order that I film it, or if I stick this at the end, but we're nearly at the industrial estate now, where we can have a bit more fun. So we'll see you in a minute. Right, so we're here at a roundabout now. We're on the industrial estate, so let's see what this can do. Wheel spin change into second. So that's what we would call national speed limit. I don't know, it gets there alright for a little car. Like I say, it's not going to blow your mind away, it's not that fast, but it's nippy, it's a fun little car. You go flinging into the roundabouts and it just encourages you to keep giving it a stick, which is exactly what I want. I wasn't after a fast car. I've already got a relatively fast car. We'll calm back down again in a second. So yeah, it's fast enough, it's what I want. Like I say, is it lightning fast? No, is it heck? But it was never going to be lightning fast. That was never the point of it. It's as fast as I needed it to be. So yeah, pretty happy with it. Handling's pretty good. The speed is what it is. To be honest, you're never going to increase the speed all that much, no matter what you do modifications wise. What realistically are you going to get out of a car like this? Unless you go turbo in it and doing daft stuff and getting 200, maybe even 300 brake horsepower, doing engine conversions or whatever, then it'll be genuinely quick. But I'm not going to do it. I don't want to spend that kind of money on the car. Right, so we've turned back around. Let's give it a bit more stick up here. I think it needs a tracking doing. It is pulling slightly. pretty happy with it. Goes well. I think we'll have a bit of fun on the track with it. There's not really much more to say. I think it's alright. There doesn't seem to be any driving issues. There was a little issue with it. It had a little like a little misfire, but that seems to have gone, and I have a feeling that was down to bad petrol. It had not been driven for a while, and yeah, when you would give it a bit of stick like that, it used to have a little hiccup, but now that seems to have gone, so I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, so that's it, guys. I think we'll call it a day there. Like I say, things to come, track days, then modifications and all the fun stuff, and aside from that, I think we are done. Also, right, while we're here, while we're at it, if everyone could like and subscribe, I want to try and get the channel monetized. And I'm not trying to be a millionaire or anything crazy like that, but it would be nice just to monetize the videos a little bit. I'm not going to shy away from the fact that that's what I would like to do. So if everyone could do me an absolutely massive favour and do that for us, it will be very much appreciated. And as I park up here in this park to get some nice little pictures of it from the outside, we'll call it the end of the video. Thanks again, I'll see you in the next video. Ta-ra.